Deep in the remote mountains of America's Pacific Northwest, there's a man who left society behind to build an entire off-grid, sustainable village. As our world continues to make massive steps in technological advancement, there is another movement happening beneath the surface, a yearning to return to a simpler, more peaceful way of life. But in reality, what does this actually look like? Meet Dan Schultz, the man who spent the last 16 years turning this dense mountainside into a livable, sustainable community where you can buy a plot, build your own house, grow your own food, and live in harmony with nature. And for the next 50 hours, myself and my two friends, Sean and Shine, will be living as part of Dan's community, making the trek to California's northern border and venturing deep into the woods to see what it truly takes to survive and thrive completely off the grid. All right, we're about an hour away from our unknown off-the-grid experience.
There's a big chance I don't come back. I keep thinking, like, is there another way to live life? After 2.5 years in LA, you put me on a farm.
Might stay with you if you decide.
Andrew drives back alone.
Okay, let's do predictions on how you guys think the host is gonna be.
He hasn't socialized a ton, I'm assuming.
I mean, I'm definitely like a little nervous if we're gonna like be welcomed with open arms. With limited information about this place and its inhabitants, we didn't know what to expect. From what we could find, in 2008, Dan bought this 160-acre plot of dense forest, which he single-handedly turned into a thriving eco-village, equipped with multiple buildings, an abundance of homegrown food, running water, solar energy, and recently, even several residents. That was until last summer, when everything changed after a devastating forest fire destroyed nearly the entirety of what Dan spent the last decade and a half creating. Luckily, through the generosity of friends and strangers, Dan managed to rebuild. At least, that's what we heard. Because of the remote nature of this place, it was pretty difficult to get in contact with Dan, leaving us unsure how much of the village was left standing, who was still living there, and whether we were about to enter a welcoming community or a standoffish cult. And with no exact address and only written directions from Dan himself, our first challenge was simply to find this place. Here you go, ready? Listen to this. Do not use GPS, all caps. You'll be lost for days or weeks staring hopelessly into your little techno rectangle and probably inevitably be eaten by wolves. Wow. It's a bad idea. Follow our directions instead.
I did not know he said that.
I feel you should have told us that before we started.
This is actually turning into something else.
And it's getting dark.
It's definitely gonna be dark by the time we get there.
He didn't even write these clear. They're already really hard directions, and then he wrote them in a way that's like a riddle.
It's kind of that like classic, like if you see this tree, turn right.
You don't get to come out here just willy-nilly with an address.
We're just going until we get to like a fork, and then we're supposed to end up on a dirt road. Oh, this is it.
Oh my
Fork.
God. Dude, this is like the start of a horror movie. This is like the point where there's no return.
We're on a dirt road in the middle of fucking nowhere.
This cliff is intense.
And we're about to end up in an off-the-grid town.
Are we checking into this place like it's an Airbnb?
I think it's like if you've made it this far, you get to stay. All right, I know the last obstacle is we have to like drive over a bridge.
What is this?
I think this is it. Oh my gosh.
This
Dude,
is
this is a
sketch,
fucking man-made bridge. Don't kill us, Shine, please.
No, I got this.
Holy shit, boys. I think we're here.
No, we're
I
here.
feel like we're here. Dude!
Oh my God.
After nearly 15 hours of driving and venturing miles deep into the forest, we finally made it to Dan's off-grid oasis. All right, now I guess we have to try to go find Dan. We're literally staying there. This is our home for the next 2 days.
I'm not leaving. I'm calling it right now.
There's a dog. Hi, buddy.
I haven't seen anyone in 12 years.
Oh my God. Where's your owner?
Take us to your...
Where's Dan?
That is such a good welcome.
Is the dog coming or no?
The dog is way up there, bro. That's not even the same dog.
Oh, it's not. That's the other dog.
Oh my gosh.
Another one. 3 dogs. Dude, every 2 seconds there's another dog.
Hello?
Are we even supposed to be bugging him right now? Knock, knock.
So we have no idea where Dan is. We cannot find him. I guess this is the communal area. There's the stove.
This looks like the communal, yeah.
A little creepy.
Yeah.
This is like a little apocalypse bunker.
I'm not gonna lie, but this is crazier than I was expecting.
Hey!
Dan, there you are.
There he is.
We found you.
Good to meet you. I'm just, I had a long day today. I think I worked a 12-hour day, so
Holy
I'm kind
crap.
of just hacking in for the night. It's going to be a social day tomorrow. We've got a prepper potluck. I can't tell you how many people have said, you know, oh, the shit goes down, we're coming to your place.
Yeah, right.
So you guys are prepared. Anything goes wrong, you're self-sustaining.
Well, I think the strongest hypothesis is an eventual grid down scenario. Economic collapse, an EMP, a solar flare. It doesn't change the bulk of what we're doing here, but I think it's a likely scenario.
How many people live here now?
6.
Wow.
And I probably got another dozen applications, so.
I've been curious about this lifestyle. It feels like there's got to be more to life than just working.
You know, like a lot of people have an idea of what sustainable living is, and they've romanticized it, and it's like, oh, you guys just sit around talking. No, it's shoveling shit sometimes, man.
You said you had a 12-hour day today, right? So what'd you do?
Tile work.
Tile work.
I'm building this, a new bathhouse right here. I told you that we had a fire a year ago, so this building burnt down. We lost most of our buildings here.
Oh my God.
That sucks, but a lot of good things came of it. In fact, it might even be one of the best things that ever happened to us.
Wow.
All right, guys, well, I'm glad you made it.
Thank you, Dan. We'll see you tomorrow.
It's quickly turning into a way different experience than I thought. This is what life would look like if we were post-apocalypse.
What we would come to learn over the next few days is that Dan is a prepper, a person who prepares for a potential survival situation or apocalypse. And while we were expecting more of a live-off-the-land kumbaya experience, we were about to get the full doomsday mentality, as we just happened to be here for a gathering of preppers that would occur in 2 days. But for now, with the sun fully set and next to no electricity on the property, we decided to head to our sleeping quarters for the night.
Oh my God.
This is tiny.
Welcome to my crib. As you can see, vaulted ceilings. You don't need any more than this. Any more than this, you're just getting creepy. This is perfect height.
I don't know if anyone knows, there's a fucking tree. It just has a hole that is open.
Check me out. Brand new hardwood. Outdoor bugs right here. I just killed.
There are definitely bugs all over this place.
Another one. Don't worry about that. Anyway, that was my crib. Thanks for coming. See you next time.
Tomorrow we're gonna literally get the full experience. Wake up and live this life with him. See the whole property, get to actually work on the property. I mean, this is, I don't even know what to expect.
Kind of gonna be like a new energy than what today.
For sure. All right, boys. Until tomorrow.
Good night, baby.
Good night. Oh my God. Dude, this is insane.
It's so pretty out. I'm trying to wake up here every morning.
With only one full day in this place, we had a ton we wanted to do. All of this with the goal of understanding how hard it truly is to live off-grid. And after a pretty easy morning exploring the main area,
This is where you wash your clothes at. Look at all this stuff. You know how long this probably took?
All of the livestock is here. We got the goats behind me. There's a little chicken coop. And then we have our little community garden.
we then met up with Dan for some coffee and a formal introduction to our new animal friends before starting the day off with a proper tour.
You know, one of the things that keeps my existence simple here is community spaces. If you have a community kitchen and community bathroom facilities, all you need is a little cabin. This is the Sunrise Bathhouse.
This is the bathroom situation.
It's literally a
It's
bucket.
a Home Depot bucket with dirt on it.
We compost our humanure. We dress it up with tile and make it pretty, but it's shit in a bucket.
Occupado.
It's about as animalistic as you get. Can't even scroll on my phone while I'm on it.
This is where I feel like I start to be like, there's some nice parts to society, that's for sure.
There's nobody in there. I can show you the hobbit hole.
Wow.
Whoa.
Is this inspired by anything?
What makes you say that?
So I built this in 6 weeks, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah.
You couldn't pay someone in the city to knock this out in 6 weeks.
You'd be waiting on your permit.
Yeah, exactly.
This is our Earthship Solarium greenhouse.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
You can't even see where it ends. That's crazy.
It just keeps going.
This was a very fun build. I used all logs from the land. And of course, the earth-sheltered back wall, it's always 55 degrees, so it buffers the climate, like the Pacific Ocean, buffers the climate.
Did you know how to do all this before you got here?
No, I knew nothing. Never ran a chainsaw. I didn't know anything.
Never ran a chainsaw, and then look at this.
Well, I'm okay making mistakes. Like, that's too many grapes. It's blocking sun. Like I said, I've made lots of mistakes and try to learn from them. This is what we focused on this year, is sweet potatoes.
It's a lot. These look like they're thriving.
It's a great survival food. We got dairy and eggs, vegetables and citrus and fruit. See, we got some limes there. These are kiwis. Here's our coffee plants.
There's so many different kinds of fruits and vegetables in here, like it's almost overwhelming.
Imagine like you don't go to the produce section of the grocery store. You just come to your Earthship and you just pick your produce and you're like, I'm gonna go make dinner.
I wouldn't know where to start. Like, what do you plant first?
What do you eat first? That's a better question.
I don't know. I kind of have a farmer's mentality. Everything has a purpose and everything has a function. And what really adds perspective to this kind of project is the capability of collapse. All of us have our own little castle, and we've lived these cushy, decadent lives. We have no idea where our food comes from. Flickering dots is as abstract as it can be. We're so out of touch with what's real and natural, we will return to it. If you really want to get into prepperism, you need water supply, you need lodging, you need tribe, because we don't need each other now, do we? You can live on your own, but if times get hard, you need each other. And it's not a crazy idea either. Look at history. Boom! Everything changes. From 1929, October, everything changed in America, to look at all the places where war or economic collapse. It's very, very possible. We're just used to living these decadent lives.
While we spent most of the morning admiring the space Dan built, we were starting to realize this is way more about survival.
The doomsday thing, although I like to be optimistic, I feel the most vulnerable I've ever felt. I know every way that the world could end right now.
And it wasn't just Dan. As we started to meet some of the other residents, we found a lot of this mentality.
It seems like there's like a doomsday crowd and then like I want to connect with nature crowd.
I think we're a hybrid.
You got a little bit of each. You realize how much more vulnerable we are than...
Super vulnerable. If it does happen, roads are blocked with dead cars and you have no electricity, you have no water pumps that can pump water to cities. The effects would be so devastating.
I've been pretty interested in like off-grid living for a while.
The sustainability aspect, kind of where the world's going in general, being secluded and secure.
You feel safer out here?
Yep, less people around.
Yeah.
That's a simple fact right there.
Yeah.
And for us, with next to no experience in prepperism, we figured it was time Dan put us to work to see how we would fare if the world ended and we were living here.
All right, we're ready for whatever terrible jobs you got for us.
First order of business, which is cleaning a chicken coop.
This place is just covered in chicken shit.
I mean, when I think of this, I think of building soil. It's the stuff that builds soil.
This is honestly not that hard of work. There's no crazy technique. You're just kind of scraping the poop and all the stuff off.
I've done more enjoyable things, I'll say that, but fuck, I feel like I got chicken shit in my eye. Oh.
It's actually not as bad as I thought. It like goes so fast that you feel the results.
Kind of satisfying.
It's like if you shat all over your bed and then you cleaned it up. I don't know what that's like, but...
You sure?
Can you grade our performance?
Can we do better?
An honest grade.
You can tell us
We gotta pressure wash
We'll
it
keep
better.
going.
We gotta get this shit out, huh?
Yeah, it's like a D-.
C+, B-. You can hose that out a little better.
Well, that was the only thing Andrew did, so...
All right, relax.
Yeah.
You think I could touch the chicken?
You gotta be aggressive.
I'm scared.
Here we go. Man versus nature.
Andrew wants me to catch a chicken.
What up, guys?
I feel like if I blend in, I'll get closer.
Hey, come here.
I don't think they're like other animals. I think you gotta like get them.
Problem is they run away.
Hey.
Hey! I don't even know how to hold one.
Shine, can you pick up a chicken?
You know they run away from you.
Oh my gosh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I made a friend while cleaning his chicken poop, and I think we got pretty close.
Oh my god.
He's actually very kind. Andrew? Millions and billions of people around the world grab chickens like it's absolutely nothing.
While it seems Shine currently had the best chance of surviving post-apocalypse, our next task would truly test our abilities.
You guys okay with heights?
the ultimate doomsday survival task: painting a house. Okay, clearly Dan didn't want to trust us with anything too big, but the design of this place was super important to him.
I've been criticized for spending too much time on tile mosaics and art, especially with prepper mentality when you could be doing more important things, but adding some art and some beauty and, I don't know, seems worth it.
This felt like a different side of Dan. And as we were painting the bathhouse he recently rebuilt, we got a chance to understand more about the fire and how much this place truly means to Dan.
I just assumed everything was going to burn down, which it didn't. We lost the lodge, the Hygge Hall, our beautiful community hall. The A-frame is gone. Wow, not even it's the stuff, it's thousands and thousands of hours, literally blood, sweat, and tears, right? One thing I always noticed about people who had trauma, it can be really stressful and bad, but there's always deep lessons, right? A lot of people showed up and supported me, and when you lose everything and you have people who really support you, and I haven't had a whole lot of that in my life. That was healing in and of itself. This is so much more of a community project than just Dan showing up and putting all his time and effort into it. I really appreciate that.
It was becoming clear how much effort has been put into this place to turn it into something that not only prepares you for an apocalypse, but also a home that you can love and enjoy.
I just think you're supposed to breathe this kind of air, drink this water. So this was an answer for me, and I like it when it's an answer for other people too.
And after contributing to the space ourselves, we couldn't help but feel the pull of this life.
There's just some feeling of doing something all day and then being able to step back and be like, wow, I did that. We literally painted that entire house. And I can't even imagine what Dan feels being able to build all of this.
There's definitely a fulfillment factor here that they're getting on a day-to-day basis.
It's very present, shoveling, painting. Yeah. We're just doing the thing right here.
So much of the world right now, it's you're never present. It's always you have all these things that you have to get done. I just didn't feel that way today. There'd be a lot I'd trade to be able to feel that daily. It really starts to make you question what is the right path for your life. We woke up to a nice little treat. It's pouring right now, which definitely changes this place.
How bad do you want this farm life? It's definitely not ideal, but can't lie, it is very beautiful. It's calming.
With only a few hours left, it was time to make our way to the community hall for the prepper potluck.
Our paint didn't wash away. Good sign. Still there. Great job.
And as people started arriving, we didn't know what to expect from a doomsday gathering, as apocalypse preppers often have a reputation for being standoffish. But surprisingly, they immediately welcomed us as part of their community.
You have a plot here on site. You've been wanting to go off-grid for 40 years. Crazy that you're gonna try right now.
I know. I should be finding a nursing home instead.
Craig, was that a 48 band radio? From box over, right?
120 feet probably.
That was so long.
That's definitely longer than 40.
It's who you know. That's really the survival
wherever
technique.
you build your tent, I'm right next to you.
We've only been here for a solid day, right? Imagine if you were here long enough to really connect with people.
Dude, if we were here for a week, we would never leave.
Now we get to go back to the city where you don't know your neighbor.
And while they were finishing up a presentation on radio communications, we had one final objective. Last night we learned that in the early days, before the bridge we drove over was built, Dan used to carry a chainsaw above his head through ice-cold, chest-high river just to get to this land.
It was cold, oh man.
So to honor the man who built this incredible village, we decided to make the mile-long trek down to the freezing cold creek.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm sad to leave. This is really cool.
This is closer to the way we're supposed to live.
Yeah, I mean, you could get too much city, you can't get enough nature.
This is our watering hole.
Could you see yourself living like this?
Yeah, I could.
I could do this right now in my life, but it would have to look a certain way. I want community here, and I would want to bring my people to this. Oh my God, that was cool.
While we wouldn't be building our own off-grid village tomorrow, we were starting to realize what makes this enjoyable is community.
I once said on a podcast, community is a pain in the ass, but it's worth it.
Because whether you're worried the world is going to end or you just want more of a connection to nature, It's always better when you have people you trust and love.
All right, plunge on 3. 1, 2, 3. Woo!
Grid goes down. It's me, Andrew, and Shine. Saw us clean that chicken coop and paint a wall. How long do we make it?
Based on that information, you last a few weeks.
Few weeks? I thought you were gonna give me single digits. That's double digits.